Hi, everybody. This is David Nevins for Citybiz List, and welcome to our program. It's our pleasure to introduce today our special guest, Heather Schafer Adkins. Heather is the relatively newly elected, I'll ask her to talk about that, president of the Harford County Association of Realtors. Heather, welcome to Citybiz List.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here today.
Congratulations. You're the new president. Tell our viewers a little bit about your background and what you do, and then kind of how you got involved with the Association of Realtors. And I know you guys call it HARCAR for short, Harford County Association of Realtors.
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about what they do as well.
I've been in real estate the majority of my adult life, and I worked for a small independent firm and realized that in order to get to know the real estate community as a whole, that getting involved in the association would be the best way to do that collectively through all the agencies. And so I spent my time volunteering on different committees. And we have a saying in Women's Council, which is where it started, is the task is to ask, and that's one of the other leaders grabbed me and said, we think that we would like you to be on the board. And that's where it started. And, I think one of the things about our association is it's extremely engaging. It's, member oriented and member driven. And it's a wonderful place to learn about the differences in our community, our strengths and our weaknesses, and where the industry can help our community as a whole. So one of the things that I reputation is everything. I wanted to help build our realtor reputation within the community. So people knew that we didn't just go out and sell houses and have lunch. We actually, put a lot of effort and volunteer hours in fighting for homeownership rights and being advocates for property rights and property values and other things outside of just selling real estate.
Talk a little bit more about that. I mean, I think people really want to know. They already know that the real estate market is super hot, probably as hot, if not hotter than it's ever been. You combine that with the fact that Harford County, for sure, is one of the hottest real estate markets. So you have a hot real estate market in general, and then in Harford County, it must be, double the norm at least. So we know you guys are selling houses every day, but talk about what you're doing in the community to make Harford County a better place and to support the real estate community, as you just mentioned.
So we have, we were involved with a lot of the legislators in the area to talk about everything from septic systems to auxiliary accessory dwellings. We have, our taxes that we're always concerned about, and they're always on the forefront of our mind, especially with our property values increasing the way they are at this time. Houses are, they're far and few between for some folks. We're trying to figure out how to approach the affordability problem that we have in Harford County, because Harford County has expanded so rapidly. So there's town hall meetings that, we make it a point to attend. We are talking to the legislators on a regular basis. We're on a Rollicott is our GAD, our government affairs director. She is at the forefront of talking to all of the politicians to see what in the world is going on out there, and what everybody is fighting for, and where our voice is best served.
So in that regard, I know I learned that you have a political action committee.
Yes, yes, correct.
So share with us a little bit about that, and I assume therefore you support those candidates whose work you think will be better for Harford County homeowners and the real estate industry in general?
That is correct. Yeah. So RPAC was what it's called, the Realtor Political Action Committee. We do back the political players who we feel have home ownership rights and the community's best interest as far as protecting those rights and, keeping our values where we feel they need to be for everyone to enjoy.
Are they going to be, and maybe you don't know yet whether they're going to be in person or virtual, so that our viewers can learn more about the association and your work?
So we do have many events planned throughout the year, but most of our events have been rescheduled for March, April, May, and June, depending on what happens with these variants that keep coming and rearing their ugly heads, right. To keep us from gathering. But we have, we do a lot of charity work. We try to do a lot of charity work. We have a drive that we do from June on that's not necessarily in a gathering aspect. And it's for the Boys and Girls Club. It's called Give a Buck. So portion of our commissions, we pledge a portion of our commissions to every sale to go toward this fund. And then we are able to give a sizable check to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Harford and Cecil County every summer. We just had a People and Pets event this past fall that included a food drive and pet supplies. So I was happy to go over to the Harford County Humane Society and give them a check and a large box of donations. We also have a 501(c) as a separate entity, but it's called the Harford County Association of Realtors Educational and Charitable Foundation. And that foundation, primarily, we like to be able to sponsor children who are Harford County residents going to Maryland schools. So we supply, I think one year we had $25,000. I can't remember what the number is for this particular past year, but it is a sizable amount, and it helps fund those children who may or may not have the resources to do what they need to do to complete their school years here in Maryland. We also, that same 501(c) also contributes to some of the local charities in the area. Most of them are Harford County based because, of course, we are a Harford County Association. But we're talking Anna's House and the Emergency One Shelter and the Harford County Education Foundation is another one that one of the folks on our board is a huge proponent of, and we like to support them as best we can.
Well, I mean, you're pretty active, I would say, and it's great to hear. I know, a number of people, think that a realtor's job is to show them houses and market their listings and make the sale and move on to the next one, which is, of course, what much of the basic job is. But it's so wonderful to hear that your association and your members are as charitable and civic oriented as they are.
We have to give where we live. You have to be involved in your community. These are the people that ultimately do fund our profession. Mm-hmm. And the Association of Realtors gives the member benefits to our active members. And the more members that we can have contributing to society makes the whole circle complete. And, I'm a lifetime Harford County resident. I love it here. I grew up on a farm. My family still has it. And I just, there's room for plenty more. And we just want to make sure everybody gets a ability to have a piece of that pie.
Heather, let me just ask, I started out by mentioning that the real estate market is pretty good right now. I'm assuming that is so. And all kinds of people are moving into Harford County. Where are they coming from? What's your observation of what Harford County is becoming and what people are looking for when they look for a home in Harford County?
Well, I think Harford County as a whole, we have, of course, the base, APG, and I think with the onset of COVID, and I think a lot of folks are able to now move where they may not have been able to move before because they're officially working remote. Some children are maybe going to school, or now they're going to private school versus public school, or whatever the case may be. So I think the bottom line is, I think it's allowing people to be able to move more freely than they may have been before, whether it was a commuting problem, whether it was, just a location problem. But it's like everything else, everything just kind of starts to move along, out from one central area out. Like, Bel Air was this little teeny tiny town 30 years ago, and look at it now. So
yeah, not so much anymore, right?
No, but the natural progression of things it still has that small town feel, though. It's still like you can still walk down Main Street and stop at the cafe and have a drink, and it's great. But but the natural progression is, of course, that Bel Air, now people are fielding out through the more northern areas of the county. Bigger
people
houses.
Are seeking quality of life at this time, and Harford County is one of those spots that allows them to get it. So
yes.
Anyway, Heather, unless you want to add anything, this has been a wonderful conversation. You are obviously a dynamic leader of the association. So keep up the good work and stay focused and charitable and civic minded. You'll never lose if you keep those goals, which obviously you are. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity.
No, it's our pleasure. And Heather, let me just ask you this before we go. If someone wants to reach out to either you or the association and learn more about the association and real estate opportunities in Harford County, how do they do that? So
they could call the Harford County Association of Realtors office. The phone number is 410-569-0750. I'm doing that off memory, so I hope that is correct. But yes, we're easily found on Google, Facebook. The office itself is right on Old Emerton Road, right in Bel Air, 21015.
Well, that's great. So Heather, again, thank you for joining us. And our guest today has been Heather Schafer Adkins, and she is the newly elected president of the Harford County Association of Realtors. If you're interested, check them out. Heather, thank you again for joining us, and thank all of you for watching. This has been David Nevins for Citybiz List. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.